Welcome to ACN, the Liberation TV of Ambazonia. This is an ACN TV diplomatic update.
For people then, so we wait the people then for ACN TV, make the takeaway for ACN, and then we'll go to deliver the big news. All right. So would they already be connected to ACN? So now welcome. Make we spread them. We make sure say all man be connected. We make sure see what people they be connected. One start. We already be connected on ACN. So all man place day. Una welcome. Fellow people them, una welcome as always. Make we start with our Ambazonian anthem. Good evening, my fellow Ambazonians. For all our Ambazonian picking them, we don't join with this evening. Una good evening for una. For all our papa them and our mommy them, we don't join with this evening. Una good evening for all una. For all our brothers and sisters who don't join with this evening, una good evening for all una. No matter place where you day for this evening as an Ambazonian, no matter place where you day today, no matter what you go through today, I don't come for this evening for can give you hope. I don't come this evening now for can bring the good news, the biggest news for the history of the Ambazonian people. Them. the best news we don't get am since this was war of independence. It don't come out. Wetin the Ambazonian people them? They be don the expect am. They be don the wait am. The kind talk where they be the wait am, expect am from the international system, from the international community. With all wetin they don't talk in the past, for the first time, today, the Ambazonian people, they don't get the news where it take the world to the direction, the expectation for justice for the Ambazonian people them. Today, my fellow people, I don't can't give now the wonderful news. We don't come out for the Canadian Parliament. The wonderful news we don't come out for which they call and say the Canadian House of Commons. Today, the government of Canada, it don't woke up, it don't stand up for tell the world what it need for be done. For say the Ambazonian people, they get the justice where they deserve. The Canadian government, it don't woke up for talk. Say the government of Paul Biya, the colonial dictator of La République du Cameroon, the Canadian government don't move big document for rally the international community for make sure say justice come from Ambazonia. I don't come this evening. I know say my brother, my friend, DDC Capo Daniel, he already can't talk for now. The big news, the document, we don't come out for the Canadian Parliament. I don't come this evening. Now for can make all we broken down small. For see what it mean for we. What it this one mean for the Ambazonian people then. What it mean for our quest for freedom and our quest for independence. What it mean for the kind justice with the Ambazonian people they want them. What it mean for all the people where they don't kill them for Ambazonia. For the women them, for the girls and the women them where they don't rape them. For the houses where they don't burn them for Ambazonia. What it mean for all these things where they happen for Ambazonia. But overall, what it really mean for the future of the Ambazonian people then. I don't come with good news. We don't come out for the Canadian House of Commons. So why Capo don't talk make we tell when I what this one really mean. First of all, before we want to talk about this one, make we examine what strategy and what the strategy, the Ambazonian strategy, what it be mean, what it be meant for create them, for achieve them for the Ambazonian people there. One of the reasons where the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it designed the National Liberation Strategy. Now for make sure say at the end of the day, the Ambazonian people then, what strategy, it makes it at the end of the day, the international system, it go also come in for start for talk. At the end, one of the strategy, now for make sure say this matter, it come out for La République du Cameroon, their hand, it be now for the hand of the international system. Now part of the strategy that. So the way where they design the block by block strategy, it also means say, number one, we take power from La République du Cameroon, the Ambazonian people will get power. Now the thing that mean block by block. We make sure say Cameroon lost legitimacy and it lost the ability for govern Ambazonia. Number two, Cameroon, it go lost all the money we they make from Ambazonia through economic exploitation or natural resources. We'll stop them completely. Number three, it means say through targeted diplomacy, the international community go start to talk about this matter. It go start for come inside for talk about this matter. As Ambazonia did defeat Cameroon for ground, as Ambazonia don't make Cameroon enough fit exploit our natural resources. As Paul Biya don't declare this war on the Ambazonian people then, the international system go come inside for talk say, now wait till it happen. Wait till it happen between Ambazonia and Cameroon. Cameroon go talk say, oh, now me I get right for solve the problem. Ambazonia say, no, you don't get right. You know fit solve the problem. They make and way Cameroon enough fit solve the problem and you not get the right for solve the problem. No matter what Cameroon do, Cameroon no go fit for provide the kind solution where it go fit address the root causes. So it go take now the palaver, it give for the international system. The international system go see Cameroon, say Cameroon be incapable and it be unwilling for solve the problem, or it not get the mechanism, the desire for solve the problem, because by trying to solve the problem, it go expose the corrupt nature of the occupation. Now for here, the international system will come in. Cameroon don't be defeated for Ambazonia. The land don't be ungovernable. The international system is not like ungovernable spaces. It not like make the region it fall and it scatter. So it go one come in. By one coming in, it means say the trap where the Ambazonian people set them. When I hear fine, because now for here the sense of Ambazonia come in. The strategy, not trap between La Republique and the international system. Cameroon no go fit solve the problem by providing solutions where Ambazonia will be satisfied with them. It go force the international community for come inside, for can look say na wetin cause this problem. Now they trap this. So the document we don't come up for Canada, now as a result of the Ambazonian strategy, now a result of what sense the victory of the Ambazonian people there. Now it don't cost this Canadian Parliament, just like last week, they talk for the House of Commons for England. Today, the document we don't come up for Canada, now a sign of the intelligence of the Ambazonian people there. Now a sign of the brilliance of Dr. Ibatue's strategy. Now a sign of how smart this generation be. How intelligent we be as a people. How it means say if we do things based on sense and strategy, we go always get the results we want people they want them. Make we start with the talk we don't come out for the Canadian House of Parliament. Now the document this, now a public document, where they don't publish them, a public document. On the 16th of February, Una sabi say the Canadian House of Commons, it be get a briefing for examine what did happen between Ambazonia and Cameroon. For that briefing, they bring in witnesses, people where they trust them. They say if you can't tell them the truth of what did happen. The Canadian government, they do their own work for interview the victims, all people that they suffer this crime, they do their work for ground. But this time around, they bring in people right inside Canada through the virtual conference for me they can testify, for give witness testimony. After that meeting for the 16th, we will be can't tell for outside. Today, now the conclusion with the Canadian government, it don't conclude that briefing. They don't move the biggest diplomatic talk where the Ambazonian people don't ever hear them. Now the best thing this will don't ever happen for this war of independence, for this war of liberation in terms of targeted diplomacy. Now the best language this. Wait to come up for the Canadian House of Commons. It be more powerful past UN Senate resolution. Wait till the Canadians they don't talk them. It be more powerful past US Senate resolution. So what did this one mean? Number one, the government of Canada, it talks, they say, the crimes them, the human rights abuses, and all the atrocities them, where did it happen for inside Ambazonia? Now the Cameroon Colonial Army, it be responsible for those things. Now the first thing that, where the Canadian government talk, say all the human rights abuses, atrocities, and the crimes against humanity, where did it happen for the Ambazonian territory? Now the Cameroon Colonial Army, they be totally responsible. Now then they commit those crimes. Now a very powerful statement this. Very powerful. Very powerful. We know say a time will come where the Cameroon Colonial Army, the people where they take instructions from the colonial old mad king of the Bulu Republic and Betty Asomo and the Atanganji Paul, we know say justice it go come for them. We know say the time go come where all them, they go face war crimes. They go charge all them. Today, the Canadian Parliament, for the first time, they talk without Connie. Now the first time this way they talk, they not talk say, oh, both sides they commit atrocities. They carry all the blame for all the things that happen for Ambazonia. They carry them, put them on top of their head. They carry all the crimes them, all the people they don't kill them for Ambazonia, all the girls they don't rape them, all the people they don't drag them go for bush, the house they don't burn them. They carry them all, they put them on top of their head. They carry them all, they put them on top of Cameroon army their head. According to witness testimony, they say that them, they commit all those crimes. Now the first thing that. So now they talk say, okay, the Canadian government talks say for solve this palaver. Now 3 things a day where they get for be done. 3. The Canadian government, it put 3 things in where they get for be done. Number 1, the Canadian government talks say they get for call for a ceasefire. The Canadian government talks say the Canada it go like for rally all the other country them, the Francophonie country them, all the other country them. They go like to rally all them for put action together for make sure say they call for a ceasefire. Make we clarify why the government of Canada call for a ceasefire so that they stop all hostilities. The position for governing council of Ambazonia, the policy for governing council of Ambazonia, it talks say a ceasefire. It got for being a comprehensive, now part of the comprehensive process for the negotiation. The ceasefire no go be different and negotiation will be different. So for governing council of Ambazonia, while the Canadian Parliament they call for a ceasefire and end for hostilities, the position for governing council of Ambazonia, it talks say a ceasefire it no go be separate from negotiation. The ceasefire therefore being a part of the negotiation. Now the policy that for governing council of Ambazonia, I be just to make I put that one for inside. Number 2, the government of Canada talks say it want bring all its partners them, the countries them for Francophonies and the countries them for Commonwealth and all the Canada, their international partners. It talks say it go bring all man together for put pressure for create a commission for go do fact finding, for go do investigation. Wetin be that investigation? Wetin the one go investigate them? We get for know. We get for understand why this one be important. They go bring all these countries them together for create an international commission for go do fact finding, for carry out a fact finding mission for inside Ambazonia. Number 1, for investigate all the crimes, the atrocities, the killings we don't take place in Ambazonia. Very important. All those houses they don't burn them. The Canadian government talks say no solution. They not fit talk about any solution. They not fit talk about any negotiation. The first thing what they get for doing, according to them, they call for this ceasefire. Number 2, according to Canadian government, they create a commission of inquiry for go down for ground zero, for investigate who they burn house them, how many villages they burn them, how many Ambazonians they don't kill them, how many people they don't send them for bush, how many businesses, how many women they don't rape them, how many mass graves a day. They talk say any solution. This one get for being a part of the solution for solve this problem. They must form an international commission for go right for ground zero and investigate all the people where they don't kill them. And now who they kill them. As they don't talk say na Cameroon military. Now which branch of their military? Now which part of their military? Now who be the general will be command those forces? Now who be the commander will lead those forces? Now how many of them they go there? Who they be? Now the gendarme, now the B, now the army, now the police, now who them? Now so they don't talk. Now the first thing that this one be very important. Now part of the justice process this for the Ambazonian people then. It be very important. So number 2, they talk say part of the investigation Not be just for go investigate all the human rights abuses where poor Bia he don't commit them for Ambazonia. Not be for just go investigate how many people they don't kill them. Not be enough for only for go investigate how many houses they don't burn them. Or how Ambazonia they don't chakaram. They talk say number 2 for part of that investigation. They get for investigate the root causes of the conflict. Ooh. Now for here, now the most important thing this International Commission of Inquiry, their goal now also for investigate the root causes of the conflict. Very important for our people then. Very important. All the noise and all the nonsense with the Yaoundé regime, if you don't play the international system, Paul Biya a game don't come to an end. Paul Biya a bribery don't come to an end. Paul Biya a corruption, it don't come to an end. Paul Biya a work for use infiltrators and enablers for near war of independence. All those things, it don't fail. And most of those people, including the one that they did for outside here, they run their mob for the atrocities so they commit them for Ambazonia. Then too they will be held responsible. Very important. All man, they go be any person where he be play any part for the killings of Ambazonia or for the cutting of fingers and for chop Ambazonian people their food them, cut their food them, cut their fingers, cut their hand, cut their bobby them. It come, will be one winner. All the people they take money for Paul Biya, they instrumentalize Ground Zero. They start kidnapping for ransom. When a days that they come, now in this, now the Canadian government don't talk am. When a days that they come, all when they talk for outside, for raise money, for do this for Ground Zero, for keep people them for Ground Zero. Now in this, the Canadian government don't talk am today. It don't talk am. It come. We be tell una, any man will not conduct, it not be conduct itself fine. When I think say this thing be been a game. When I not go take the Ambazonian people their lives, when I play game on top. The game of fame. The game for make too much noise. When I there's a big number, they come. Now Canada government is on the talker. Number 3, it talks say the government of Canada, it go also for rally the world, for make sure say, number 1, they call for a ceasefire. Number 2, a commission of inquiry for investigate all the crimes they don't commit on Ground Zero, who they keep people them, who they burn house them, who they be responsible, and make them investigate the root causes of the conflict. Now the most important thing is for the Ambazonian people then. The root causes of the conflict. What will be the root causes? All we know. The root causes. Now the incomplete process for give Ambazonia independence. Now the incomplete process where it make them la Republican occupy Ambazonia. Now the incomplete process where the United Nations will not be following up for complete the independence of Ambazonia. Now the process where Britain commit fraud and he betray the Ambazonian people then. Now the thing that way he make them, the Ambazonian people, they can't end for this place where they did today. Now the reason for this conflict, it don't come today. Why the conflict get, what they call and say, immediate causes, all right? The immediate causes the day. And then the root causes the day. Immediate causes. Now the thing they start for 2016. The root causes. Now the incomplete decolonization process. Now the occupation. Now the union treaty will not be signed. Now the UN resolution will not be implemented completely for the Ambazonian people then. Now the thing that we make them, Ambazonia can't end for this matter today. So when Canada they talk say, make the International Commission of Inquiry where they go form, it make sure say he investigate the root causes. Now the thing is where they talk. Now what is that? How these two countries, these two people, they can't end together. Usa Cameroon will get their own independence for different day. How Cameroon money can be? How Ambazonia? Cameroon declares saying Ambazonia are part of the country. What will happen? The USA boundary day between Ambazonia and Cameroon. All those things they will establish them. Facts, they no go lie. A lie, if it only live for a certain time. But at some point, the truth, it go come off our side. The truth, Ambazonia, their truth. Because of the Ambazonian people, their commitment. For say make this truth come off our side. Because of Ambazonian people, their commitment. For say the Ambazonian people, they restore their own rights. For dignity. For live. For be happy. For get freedom. For gain their sovereignty. And defend and protect that sovereignty. For live under this world and build a prosperous nation. For give our people hope. Because of that commitment. Because of all this work, our people don't do them. Because of what our forces, they don't do them for ground. Because of the strategy. Because of all these donations, where Ambazonia they donate through the self-defense strategy. Now in this today, they yield the fruits. Where when I see them today, the international system, they talk. And the biggest document, it don't come out today. For talk say they must go investigate the root causes of the conflict. Nothing be more exciting than this time we will see them today. Nothing will be more exciting for the Ambazonian people there. Because they think this way, all we be done the wait time. For the world for woke up. The world don't woke up for sleep. So that's why all we get for clap for the government of Canada. We get for clap for the gods. For all the people them. Where they work behind the scenes. For make sure say this thing happen. We get for clap for all the men and women. All the ghost towns where were people that the whole land for ground zero. All the colonial school boycotts. All the suffering of the refugees. The one where they did for prison. The suffering of the fighters, their sacrifices, their boldness, their bravery. Now all those things, that resistance, that commitment, now all those things, they don't add up for put this pressure on the international system. Now our commitment, say we want our rights. Now our commitment, say we want our country back. Now that noise, we would make up for outside here. Would he talk for outside here? Would he educate the world? Would he insist? Say poor Bia must be held accountable. Now all these things, they don't add up, they 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 add up. And then they explode into what you today would see them as the most powerful statement with the international community don't make them. Will not ask for anything more than for say they address the root causes. Forgive the Ambazonian people them the justice. For them forget their freedom back. For them forget their sovereignty back. So for our opinion and assessment, this one a big victory for the Ambazonian people then today. Today a big diplomatic victory for the Ambazonian people then. And as we talk, not be not only a victory for Ambazonia, it also shows say as we be talk, say Cameroon don't be defeated. When we be the talk, say Cameroon don't be defeated. Now the signs and this. Now because of Ambazonian defeat of Cameroon. Now I don't call for these kind of statements. Because they know say the end don't come. Because they know say there is no way Cameroon will govern Ambazonia again. And so the world got for step in. As will be predicting. As the leader be designer. As the Ambazonian people, they implement the strategy. The results they don't come in. When we do the work, we follow the roadmap. We follow the strategy. Now science, you get the results. Now victory this for Ambazonian people then. This victory now for all man. This victory now victory for our prisoners then. This victory now victory for our refugees then. This victory now victory for our mammy where they call for where they observe ghost town and our business people them. This victory now victory for all Ambazonians them. The one where they don't lost their lives for the liberty and the freedom of the one where they their life. This victory now the victory for the one where they did for Bush. Now signs of hope this. Now signs and this for tell we say we move closer to the end. We get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to the end. And the final thing with the government of Canada talk, this one be very important for our people because it be very comforting. The government of Canada talks say, all the people will be responsible for these crimes, all them, from Paul Biya to Atanganji, to Betty Asomo, to all the B generals, the B commanders, police generals, police commanders, gendarme generals, gendarme commanders, army generals, army commanders. It talks for all those people would they be responsible for give the order and for these crimes and for be committed for Ambazonia. They talk for all those people. The government of Canada talks they say all the people would be responsible for these atrocities and severe human rights violations. The government of Canada talks they go for sanction them. They go for do targeted sanctions. They go for do targeted sanctions for all those people. So not be not only say they army them, they go hold them responsible. But I say all the Cameroon political figures, starting with the colonial dictator, they talk say this is sanctions that will come for them. Through what they call them say, now in this way, through the Justice for Victims Corrupt Foreign Officials Act. The Canadian government got an act where they call and say, Justice for Victims of Corrupt Foreign Officials Act. Now through that act from the Canadian government, they go use them for impose sanction and imprisonment for the colonial dictator of colonial dictator of the Bully Republic, Paul Biya. Now through this act with the Canadian government, it also go rally all international partners for make sure say how they call it Okala Bilai, the colonial governor of the Bulu Republic, we there for Ambazonia, for the Atlantic states, when they control all the colonial forces them and all the atrocities them. They get for wholly responsible and they get for sanctioning and they get for putting in prison. Same thing with Okala, how they call Lele Afrique. Same thing with Atanganji. Same thing with the SDOs. All those colonial SDO. When those army they go for those divisions, they be under their care and their order. Every single person. Now so this document talk. So for we the Ambazonian people them, now a big victory this. Also, what did this one mean also? Also, every person where through this process you be participate for engineer human rights abuses for Ambazonia. Ooh, it did too for you. So people that he ask me say, but PS Asu, you don't talk about this thing. But what do you really mean? What do you mean I say you don't win? What do you mean I say La Republic don't be defeated? What do you mean I say your wishes, your dreams, your hopes, your prayers, they don't be answered by you because of your work we don't do for ground zero? What do you mean I say the strategy, the work? So what all this one now? The one that the international system don't talk that one. Now they step them down, they will take up. So now for Ambazonia, what do you mean? It mean now say the Ambazonian people. Now the time this for Ambazonian people then. Now the time this for we for continue the work for make sure say what self-defense for ground. It be more stronger than any time before. As Cameroon it days for Ambazonia they come to an end. When I remember when the French they leave France Afrique, they destroy everything for back as they did move. As Cameroon don't know say, Paul Biya don't know say go prison. They know say their end don't come because the leader for War of Independence, he be talk say 2 days ago, or yesterday talk say for an audio message we talk. He talk say one of the reasons where Cameroon it be the fear for commit for any negotiation. Now because Cameroon knows say the moment they commit, their end don't come. Because they don't get anything, no international law no day, where it make Cameroon for get the right for occupy Ambazonia. and he give them the right for be for Ambazonia. Cameroon also. So one of the reasons where then they be use now this war and they use now this terrorism tactics for things that they go change the story and make Ambazonian people them just like previous generation. For the Ambazonian people them for give up and then for accept for continue for live under occupation. The leader talk say one of the reasons where poor Bia they fear for commit now because they know say when they commit, La Republic it go lost completely and they will hold them accountable. Now poor Bia no get no choice. Whether Paul Bia like farm for commit for a negotiation or you know one for commit, the world it don't talk say they go put pressure for drag Paul Bia. Oh, they go drag Paul Bia. They go drag Paul Bia for rope. They go take rope tie him for Paul Bia neck. They go drag Paul Bia for rope for bring him for negotiation table. Whether I like him or you not like him. Whether La Republic like him or you not like him. Now that's what they don't talk. They go drag Paul Bia for rope. They go draw it for mud. They tie rope for neck. They draw it so drum. Can't put them on top negotiation table. Say sign for here. Sign Cameroon surrender. You don't get union treaty with that country. Not be a country. Come on. Say you go to drag. They can't sign up. Now they trap this. They fall inside. You know the matter don't enter for inside. It don't enter proper for inside the international system they hand. Nyamfoka. When the leader be tell them say this generation not be a generation we go play with them. We go use na sense for defeat La Republic du Cameroon. Not be na our might. Our own sense na might. I mean, our might na our own sense. Paul Bia think say army na it be power. Power na strategy. Power na intelligence. For 21st century, your power they come now from your intelligence. Now from your sense. Now from your smartness. Now from your strategy. What defeat of Cameroon, not be that because they will just be too a powerful people. And we'll not even get the army, we'll not get the weapons, we'll not get the materials. We use na sense for teach La Republic du Cameroon a lesson. For defeat them. Na sense. Now, sense it don't make them this country that they talk for the way that they talk. Because now the way this will made they talk. Now the way this will made they enter inside the matter. Now sense don't make them all these things. Now sense. No ever try person will get sense. This generation was sense too much. See, we defeat Cameroon army. We defeat the colonial state. Would defeat their narrative with all the media where they create them. They don't create more than 100 television station them for do propaganda, for do all this kind of media. We defeat all that one. We defeat their tribalism. We defeat them. They carry infiltrators. They bring up Ambazonia War of Independence for create confusion, for do this, for do this. We still defeat all that one. They bring bribery. We defeat them. They bring corruption. We defeat them. That sense. Once you get sense and you want to do the right thing and you get that kind of character and you stay on your conviction as one mommy be talking. One mommy talk say una stay on una conviction. Una stand on una character and una conviction for defend the Ambazonia people them to the end. The world will move to una. That's what mommy talking. Mommy say at the end, all the nyama thing them, they go fall aside. Now the victory this. Now in this, it don't come. Mommy happy blood, it don't deliver victory. General Ivo, a blood, it don't deliver victory. Baby Mata, a blood, it don't deliver victory. Sam Soya, a blood, they don't deliver victory. Their spirit, it deliver victory. Now the victory this, now for all now. This victory today, now the collective effort for every Ambazonian, we don't stand up for defend the homeland. This victory now for the refugees, now for the prisoners of war, and for all the one the way they did for Bush, and for all the one the way today, and then they carry the guns, and they carry the big machine guns them. carry guns for defend homeland. This victory na for una. This victory now for all the positive forces them for outside here. For all our brothers and sisters them for diaspora. Where they stand up with the people of Ambazonia. Where they stand up for make sure say they sacrifice a lot. For make sure say the Ambazonian people, their hopes, they not be killed by agents provocateurs and infiltrators. For make sure say we fighters, they get what it mean for keep the resistance for ground strong until the international system respond. We want thank una. Now una victory this. This victory now for the forces them all across Ambazonia for the 13 states. Through una bravery, una commitment, and all una suffer, una don't suffer. With no good weapons. For 4 years consistently. Today, the world don't answer the call of una guns and the call of una voices. This victory na for una. All the generals and commanders, all the forces them, for all the 13 states of Ambazonia. Today, the work we don't do them for ground. The international system, they don't cut on a cafe, and they don't respond. The way where the Ambazonia people be expecting. We thank una plenty. As they talk from the bottom of our hearts. We thank una. The victory where the Ambazonian people they be expecting, the posture, the language, the tone from the international system. They don't speak that language. Things they don't change. It be guaranteed. Say the colonial dictator of Pobia, he go end up in prison for the rest of his life. It be guaranteed. Say Atanganji Paul, he go end up in prison for the rest of his life. It be guaranteed. Say Betty Asomo, the colonial minister of defense, he go end up in prison for their crimes against the Ambazonian people them. It be guaranteed. Say all the top generals, the B general, the army general, the police general, the gendarme general, all their generals for Cameroon colonial defense forces and security forces. It be now guaranteed. Say all them, they go end up in prison. It be guaranteed now. Say Okala Bilai and Lele Lafrique, they go end up in prison. Make I take this time now for send a message. Any Ambazonia Pekin, where you still there for Cameroon Colonial Army, you still wear that their uniform, that their genocidal uniform. The Canadian Parliament don't talk today. Now the time this one now for pick for run. Any person will be smart. You work for Cameroon government for a high position. Whether now for gendarme, for B, for police, and for gendarme. Now the time this will abandon that system and go for exile. Now the time this will run that system because the international system become a winner. You better run before they come for you. You better abandon the system and surrender before they come for you. As will be promised, no person will commit an act of genocide for kill our people them, rape mommy them, rape sister them, burn house. No person, no enabler, no traitor, it will ever go free. All the colonial parliamentarians and the colonial senators we will not gang up with the Biya regime for promote genocide and war crimes on the Ambazonia people then. Ooh, una don't hear. Una time, it don't come and it don't end. Una go rest una go after these people, after the international system, it don't finish with La République of Cameroon, their colonial state. The Ambazonian people, through the Ambazonian Code of Justice, the process for hold every person we commit and it be facilitate and enable the occupation, the genocide, the colonialism, and the subjugation of the Ambazonian people them. When the international system also finish, now for the Ambazonian Court of Justice go start the process for render the justice through a civilian process for all those parliamentarians, for all those senators who they betray the people and they become traitors to Ambazonia, to all the success in Congo, and to all the Namberes, for all una, we una decide for betray the Ambazonian people them. Una days they don't come. Cameroon, the days they don't end. The time don't come. Ambazonia, the light for God, it don't shine upon the Ambazonian people them. There is nowhere for una for hide. As for victory for Ambazonia, as for justice for Ambazonia, that one be guaranteed. For we now, what do you mean I say? As una know now say the end don't come for Cameroon. Either tomorrow or the day after, the leader for a war of independence, he go can lay out a roadmap for end this phase, for finish this work, and start the transition authority for ground zero. For take full control of Ambazonia. For La Republique, that one an ancient story. The Canadian government don't talk. That one don't end. We know say that one we go for create. So the leader will come, he will roll out the new plan. As we don't promise him, as Grandpa be prophesy, as General Epham he prophesy, 2021, it will be a special year for the Ambazonian people then. We only did that for we just enter number 3 months. Number 3 month for the year. 2021, it will be the defining year for the Ambazonian people then. The signs they don't come. Signs of victory they don't come. So we are ready ourselves. Say the work we don't do, now I don't create this progress. Now the time for we for take over. Now the time for we for strengthen ground zero and start for take charge of the security of our nation, of the defense of our nation. Negotiations they come. How you want to enter negotiation? The leader, you could address the Ambazonian people then. Make a leave and for you for today. Today, any place where they are back. Even if you get a 200 amber, take and go buy a 1 comimbo. You drink them, you go sleep fine. Anywhere where you did today, make hope enter your heart. For since we don't get towards the end. A positive end. A victorious end. The end for which you be the one time. The end for which you be the fight for. We don't move there. The international system don't speak that language. As the leader be talk, when the signs they start for come, when I go start for hear them, when I go to see them, the signs they don't come for Ambazonia. I talk this for today. May God bless all una. May God bless the Ambazonian people then. And make we continue with this positive spirit for make sure say as the chapter for Cameroon at the end, we start a fresh chapter for the defense of our people then, the defense of our country and the defense of our sovereignty. By making sure say we build a powerful army, we make sure say we take our country before negotiations. We could leave and make the leader can address we. Alright? For now, I beg. Any person, when I go hug each other, if you get a young boy, if you get a small thing around, I beg, when I do something special tonight, when I hug each other for celebrate this victory. If when I get picking them around, if you play music, when I play music today, when I dance, if you dance, play music, dance. Even if you not get water for mimbo for drink, take small water, drink them. You take small cola, you chew them. All in a celebration. Mommy and papa them today, I beg, when I do something special, when I say, I know we tell when I go for doing, but when I know. When I do something special as a celebration. Alright? Thank you plenty. May God bless all una. May God bless the Ambazonian people then. As General F and the talker. Short live the struggle, long live the sovereignty and freedom of Ambazonia. Awo. When I get a good night. I love una plenty. We'll talk tomorrow. When I get a good night.
This is an ACN TV diplomatic update. Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back.